Earth that is a planet, that simply a result of the process of solidification of hot molten cloud mass that is known as nebula, if you follow the supernova hypothesis itself, right? Or baki jo agar different hypotheses as gases hypothesis by Immanuel Kant, nebular hypothesis itself by the Laplace himself, right? So you will find ye jo different hypotheses hai, they are all pointing toward the same fact. The earth evolved as a result of earth, and all different planets in fact I would say evolved as a result of the solidification process of this nebular masses, है ना? They started to differentiate, and then this differentiation further leads to the lyric arrangement as in. और इसमें देखो बहुत सिंपल सा फैक्ट होता है that will rather help you to understand the overall concepts of this इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ, दैट कि जब भी कभी जो मास कंसोलिडेशन होगा, ऑलवेज डू रिमेंबर द मास कंसोलिडेशन इज लाइक एट द सेंटर इट इज हैविंग वेरी हाई डेंसिटी, एंड एज एंड व्हेन यू आर मूविंग अवे फ्रॉम द center, the density and the conditions are goes on decreasing, right? So do remember this fact always, that the case is कि जब भी कोई mass consolidations होगा तो center of mass जो या center part जो है वो ज़्यादा dense mass होगा, mass concentration ज़्यादा होगा, and when you are moving away from the center you will find that comparative aspects, right, those physical quantity और जो भी consideration है those goes on decreasing. So now first देखो अब interior of the earth, as you know it very well, the interior of the earth is like almost first radius is 6,400 kilometers, and if you consider the average diameter is almost 12,500 kilometers almost, right? अब देखो there are many actually, like if you follow the geomorphological propositions, okay, about the interior, you will find कि इसमें बहुत सारे propositions है कि how to classify the earth's interior. The reason being like if you consider the different criteria you will find the result is rather different. जैसे कि अगर density based अगर define करोगे तो फिर ये conditions आएगी, या if you try to define it based on temperature condition then it would lead to some different condition. If you try to define based on mechanical properties then it leads to asthenosphere, lithosphere, asthenosphere and mesosphere or centrosphere, right? So ये क्या है ना, जैसे जिस criteria लोगे accordingly you will find the interior of the earth would rather identified or differentiated into. Now here what we have considered, just like the properties of matter, then density of matter, and then like say we have categorized earth into this different layer. Three prominent layer है, first three prominent layer है, देखो crust, mantle and core, right? Crust, mantle and core, these are what the three prominent layers. They are each of them further subdivided into two different types, right? Two different layeric arrangement में divide किया है. जैसे you will find upper crust, then lower crust, upper mantle, lower mantle, outer core, or like a liquid core that is as well known as, right, and inner core. So the overall interior of the earth is divided like into three different layer, and by then sense again a six different layeric arrangement further. अब पहले तो ये देखेंगे हम कि देखो अब इतना deep interior है, right? This deep interior, is it really, you think that by means of some physical or like say physical exploration or a direct observation, is it really possible to have idea about the interior of the earth? Answer is no, है ना, क्योंकि इतना डीप है. सी द डीपेस्ट माइन दैट ह्यूमन एबल टू लाइक डिग एज ऑफ नाउ इज हार्डली 12 to 13 किलोमीटर्स. 12 to 13 किलोमीटर्स है, उससे बियॉन्ड अभी तक हम डिग कर नहीं पाए द अर्थ सरफेस, बिकॉज यू नो द वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड द वेरी डिफिकल्ट रियलिटीज ऑफ इनसाइड द अर्थ सरफेस. सो व्हाट, सी नाउ देयर आर सम सोर्सेस टू स्टडी इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ. व्हिच आर दोस सोर्सेस? यू विल फाइंड, सी I hope guys this is pretty much visible to you. You guys can read it as well. और नहीं हो तो at the end of you will find कि ये मैं आपको फिर से एक screenshot इसका available करवा दूंगा, so you will be having that access as well. So see, direct sources, it means like mining, direct mining that we have, then drilling, and then volcano itself, So what, these are the direct sources where you will find the earth interior just could be physically traced, or like say by means of some tangible observation we are having direct access to it. But there are more important indirect resources, because see, earth cannot be read or earth cannot be traced by direct sources but rather indirect sources, and indirect sources rather forms a very critical aspect of this interior study. See, अब indirect sources कौन सा है? You will find remote sensing by means of satellite and remote sensing. Then you will find say seismic waves. Then you will find then meteorite, and about that study gravity anomaly hai, and even the far missions, okay, or extra planetary missions of ours, like say those Juno missions hai ya Aditya missions hai ya aur bhi jo missions hai, those would rather help us to gather information about those planets and ultimately about the earth, because these planets were evolved from, considered to be evolved from a same parental mass and must be having some condition to reflect then. Yeah, so this way. So I hope sources आपको pretty much clear है जिस पे question बन सकता है. So be prepared with this. Next है, see, अब the information about each of this layer. Crust. See, crustal part, it is like the most important, that is a solid layer. There are, you will find like टू प्रोमिनेंट सॉलिड लेयर्स है हमारे पास. एक तो आउटर क्रिस्टल या अपर क्रिस्टल पार्ट होगा और इनर कोर वाला पार्ट होगा. दोज आर लाइक से सॉलिड इन नेचर, एंड इसकी डेप्थ होगी 30 to 100 किलोमीटर. सी, दिस डेप्थ ऑफ दिस सॉलिड क्रिस्टल पार्ट इज हाईली वेरिएबल ऑन दिस काउंट कि वेदर इट लाइज इन लाइक ओशन और वेदर इट लाइज ऑन फॉर्म्स ए पार्ट ऑफ कॉन्टिनेंटल क्रस्ट. अगर ये ओशन का पार्ट बनाएगा तो इसकी एवरेज डेप्थ होगी 30 to 50 किलोमीटर. बट इफ फॉर्म्स ए पार्ट ऑफ कॉन्टिनेंटल क्रस्ट, देन यू विल फाइंड that ranges around 70 to 80 or possibly 100 kilometers as well, right? It depends on. Then the second part of this crustal region, upper crust, that least dense and lighter. As I told you कि जब भी mass consolidations होगा, you will find the center is rather attract the most densest material, and in the outer periphery the least dense material you will find. Or upper crust is just, you know, the lightest material, least dense material as well. Then इसके दो types रहेंगे, continental crust and oceanic crust है. One thing, continental crust is generally granitic made of, and oceanic crust is basaltic made of, basic in nature, right? तो basic basically जो है, you'll find that is made up of this sima, right? And then this continental crust is made up of sematic matter, right? Sima, silica and magnesium. Sima basically silica and Sial is silica and aluminium, that is continental crust, and oceanic crust is sima, silica and magnesium. Then this one. Then what is the volume of overall earth surface? The volume is hardly 0.1 to 1%, 0.5 to 1% है. उससे ज़्यादा इसकी वॉल्यूम नहीं है. The overall crustal part, the outer crust, upper crust particularly. Then you will find like mostly that is made up of the sedimentary rock, because obvious है, the sedimentary rocks or their very dominance you will find rather on the surface, क्योंकि erosional agent जो work कर रहा है वो surface पे work कर रहा है, they are not basically inside the surface, right? So this sedimentary rocks, and density, average density is rather 2.8 to 3 gram per centimeter cube. So this forms the crustal part of the earth surface, right? अब देखो, this fact we will verify this fact यहाँ पे जो लिखा है, right? With the depth there is increase in temperature, with depth there is increase in pressure, and with depth there is increase in density as well. So three factors है, तीनों भी increase होते जाएंगे say with the incremental depth. So first part है this one. Then the mantle वाला section, see, mantle is further divided into two parts, upper mantle and lower mantle, right? Or like yes, upper mantle and lower mantle, and upper mantle is up to 700 kilometers, and the overall depth of this mantle, right, it is almost like 2900 kilometer. 2900 तक इसकी overall mantle की depth है. And what you'll find, see, mantle, now it is most voluminous. 83% of overall volume of the earth is occupied by the mantle surface, and you know that rather forms, this mantle as well forms the part of the plate tectonic theory equally, right? Then उसके बाद देखो, you'll find solid layer again, that is a mix of solid and semi and liquid as well, right? So semi solid layer, it is asthenosphere, that means a weak liquid that forms a part of the mantle itself. Then average density, as I told you, and density goes on increasing, temperature भी increase हो रहा है. So at this margin, see, 3.3 to 5.5 gram per centimeter cube, that is an average density of earth's interior. Yes, Earth is one of the most densest planet in our solar system, और इसकी average density almost 5.5 gram per centimeter cube that you will find reflect in the mantle section क्योंकि majority is rather mantle over itself. Then it is rich in silicate rocks, iron and magnesium. है ना, so that is rich in silicate rocks है, then olivine as well, or basically variants है. In geology you will find those different variations, variant in fact. So silicate rocks, iron and magnesium. Now, temperature that ranges over here, you will find the temperature may be ranging around like 1500 to 2000 degrees as well, right? By the end of our, at the end of this mental boundary, yes, mental and core, you will find temperature may be ranging around 1500 to possibly 2000 degree Celsius. Now, then this core, yeah, that is the most important part, though not as voluminous as, but it forms very core center of the earth surface itself, being basically again like 2900 से ये start हो रहा है और up to 6400 almost that range, that it is made up of outer core and inner core. Outer core as such, that is equally known as liquid core. Why? Because that is again in liquid state of matter. Yeah, it just because of underlying pressure on the surface, you will find the material जो है that is made up of nickel and ferrous transform into the liquid state of matter, and hence it is a liquid core as well. Now see, it is only liquid layer over in the interior. Yeah, only liquid layer, one of the most densest, less than inner core though, but still over in the solar system you will find this is one of the most densest part of the solar system, this outer core, sorry, or liquid core, and responsible for Earth's magnetism. See guys, अब यहाँ पर क्या है, you will find over in the outer core, so there are charged ions है, liquid है, so it rather offers a free movement of the charged ion, and the movement of charged ion leads to say the electricity, that kind of, and then leads to magnetism as well, following the Faraday's law. So this liquid core is equally responsible for Earth's magnetism and temperature. See, 4000 to 5500 degrees Celsius, that is what the range of temperature over of the liquid core, क्योंकि इतने से temperature पे ही nickel और ferrous, Nife, that we consider as, say, they just could remain in a liquid format. So liquid core, I hope you guys are getting this thing. And then the next, the deepest part, the most densest part, and that is what solid in nature, start from 5150 kilometers to up to 6400 kilometers, that is a solid core or inner core. It is solid, see, though the reason is not very precise as, but what based on the article that was given in the Hindu, it is expected that due to the excessive underlying pressure, है ना, ये जो overall layers है, atmosphere है, सारे जो pressure apply कर रहे हैं, say that it leads to continuous transformation, okay, of the this nickel and ferrous and other silicate materials into, you know, a solid transformation. So excessive underlying pressure, it changes the melting point of the composition, and that composition then remains solid in the state of matter. That is also known as inner core, hottest part as well, most densest layer as well, 12 to 13 gram per centimeter cube. And then both core are made up of iron, nickel, that is Nife, है ना, nickel and ferrous, that they both core in fact made up of this one. Then see, volume and mass of whole core is almost 16%, and mass, see, volume is 60%, however mass is 62%, so it is most densest material or layer over in the surface. Then यहाँ पे देखो कुछ elements है, siderophiles है, commonly found gold, uranium, you'll platinum over in the layer, and then it rotates faster than the Earth, west to east. So solid core rotates comparatively faster, being solid in mass, and interior, deep interior, densest as well, it rotates faster than the rest of the Earth. I hope देखो ये प्रेजेंटेशन से आपको बहुत सारी चीज़ें क्लियर हो रही होगी, है ना, एंड देन फर्दर इंफॉर्मेशन, एडेड इंफॉर्मेशन ओवर इन दी what this pocket topic itself. Now one thing that I just would like to discuss over here, एक और additional चीज़ है discontinuities, है ना. Then in Earth's interior you will find with जैसे with depth, टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज हो रहा है, डेंसिटी इंक्रीज हो रही है, प्रेशर इंक्रीज हो रहा है, मेंटल वाइज और एवरी like this crustal layer, you'll find, see, discontinuities are as well there. Now what does that mean by discontinuity? Discontinuity, it simply means change in the density over, like say, in the earth interior, है ना. There are some transition zone, there are some layers rather, कि जहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, एक density property से next property density material rather getting developed in. So this is what known as discontinuity, a change in density in interior. Now first density that between upper crust and lower crust, yeah, first that forms upper crust and lower crust, that is a Conrad discontinuity. Conrad discontinuity upper and lower crust के बीच में. Next discontinuity देखो, change of density again, right? There are 6 layers, so 5 discontinuities you will find. Second discontinuity है, that is Mohovic or Moho discontinuity between, like say, lower mantle and upper mantle. Then upper mantle and lower mantle के बीच है rapidity, या rapidity discontinuity. Then lower mantle and outer core, इसके बीच है Gutenberg discontinuity. And then outer core and inner core, इसके बीच है, that is Lehman discontinuity. So discontinuity is simply change in the density, and you will find 6 layers है, तो उनके 5 different boundaries बनेंगे, या एक layer transition zone बनेगा where change of densities rather occur. So see, this is the whole information about the interior of the earth. I hope you guys find this information really interesting as well. I must like added some kind of additional information or provided some additional information to you. So if you really like it, if you really like find this discussion somehow significant, so don't forget to like it, share it further, and don't forget to join our channel. This Geo for Geography, and equally एक और channel है UPSC in our surrounding. So guys, yes, thank you and have a good time then.